People are here. Twitter went down today, Reddit went down today, and YouTube kept giving me oopses. What a mess. What a mess. Oh, I gotta get comfortable in my chair. Okay. I wanted to do this in my studio, but I was unable to do so because I'm still fielding a lot of questions right now. Yeah, I'm late for sure. YouTube was giving me, I was going to screenshot it, but YouTube was giving me this oops that kept popping up. So that's kind of a mess. Might be, I am all hands on deck. I have a client with some problems and of the issue. Hold on, I'll share with you guys what I got going on here. No, that's not it. Where'd this go? Where'd this go? I'll actually send you, there we go. Download. Open. This is what I'm dealing with. Get my head a little smaller, put me up in a corner here. This is why, part of the reason, well, YouTube being late, and then I'm looking over here because this is one of my texts. This is an on-site screen of a PowerEdge that appears to be in critical error. So he's on-site dealing with that right now. So, whoops. That's the thing. Well, let's see. Now let's go ahead and pop out the chat and bring that over here. Put that under me, I think. There we go. Go Europe. Jamaica, England, sips tea. Oh yeah, soccer fans. I seen that. So, what do we got here? I'm trying to catch up. There's a lot of you here. Woohoo! I ran across a new firewall solution. If you like a EdgeRouter series, there's some free software called Vios. Well, it's not really new. Vios has been around for a while, and that's essentially how they built the Edge routers. So it's like a customized version of Vios with an interface on top of it. So, oh, good. My staff is seeing if this will boot. They're on site trying to get a server to boot for a client. All right. So that is going on right now, but yeah, Vios has been around for a while. Vios is the software for it's like a command line driven, like you just said. Let's just pull it up. There we go. I think this is it. Yeah. Anyways, Vios is the software for doing this. All the source code's here. But a lot of people build very high-end custom routers with this. But it's all command line driven. So it's very specific use case. They use it a lot of data centers. They use it where you have an admin to do it. It's not going to be the easiest firewall stuff to set up, but it's around. It's there. So, how can I get services from Lawrence Systems? I have a website. That's where you hire us at lawrencesystems.com. Hey, let's go there. Let's talk about that. This is how you hire us. Then you go to contact. Hey, look at that. You can contact us and hire us for whatever you want. You contact a human at LTS. So there you go. If you want to hire us, this is where you do it. And this is all on like every video I do. It's in the contact of our videos. I always think it's funny when people leave comments like, how do I get in touch with you? I'm like, it's on the header. It's on the trailer. It's in the about page. It's in the description. But there's many ways you can get there. Anyways, I had brought up the ability to, or I tweeted about this, I should say. Yeah, Vios is a fork of the Vyatta. One of those two, Vyatta and Vios, are the ones that Edge uses for their systems. So back to the topic. One of the things I talked about is saving clients money. So a lot of people have done this, and let me see if the Twitter is still broken. Hey, look, the Twitter's not broken. Looks different again, but at least it's here. But I posted the other day about saving my clients money. Where'd it go? Somewhere, there we go. And how do you save someone $20,000? And one of the things about this particular project was they had different IT people who wanted to outsource management of all the Wi-Fi and basically infrastructure related to the internet. And by doing that, they were paying quite a bit. They were paying about $20,000 a month, basically an outside MSP. But when the new guy got there, he says, that seems like a whole lot. What exactly do you do? Hey, I'm going to say hi to Dan real quick. Hey, Dan. Dan is here. If you have questions, the whole Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 7, that video I did, Dan Barrera is in here. He's the one that I interviewed for that excellent video. Watch it if you haven't, so you can get a lot of in-depth knowledge on how the cabling standards work. But if you have questions, Dan's the guy to ask. Oh, he's in the channel right now. Guy knows everything you ever wanted to know about cables because he was there making some of the standards for some of the more recent cable changes. So that's really cool. But what happened with this, and a few people had comments on it, but one of the things that happened was once the new IT guy says, why are we paying that much? And this becomes subjective. Some people say, oh, they're overcharging, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's real subjective. So I'm not going to start with that because they were managing the network externally. The downside is they were having problems with it. And because they were having problems with it, I'm going to say the value wasn't as good as it should have been. Probably a good way to describe it. So what we did was we came in there and said, let's put in all UniFi equipment. And this is 300 access points that went in here, plus a lot of switches, all PoE, so all high-end switches to power all this. So there's just a lot that went into this. That's how it came to be that they were being charged $20,000 a month. Now, the other side, too, is this is not a business model I do where people want... Well, they were talked into, I should say. The current IT didn't want this. It was 100% leased service for it. They owned no hardware. So all the hardware, even though they were paying $20K a month, and it guaranteed them to have hardware. If any piece of hardware failed, they shipped them a new part, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't own any of it. And that's a popular business model a lot of these places do. So the business model of doing that was kind of painful because when they wanted to break the contract, they found out they would lose all their infrastructure. So that's how the company kind of had them over a barrel, but they just said, this is so much to pay. So they had to come up with it. So they had to not just replace or take over. It was a matter of they had to rebuy infrastructure because they owned none of it. And so that's why it was so much money. So parts and labor was like $140,000, which means it took 7 months to pay it before you got a payoff on it. And that's what this email was. They finally hit the break even, and now we're saving it. So it's just one of those. It's one of those. It's a lot of pain up front, but these are some of the ways we save our clients money by doing this. And this is I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that business model, but I guess it's which side of the fence are you on? If I was in this business just to make money, leasing someone all of their hardware, it kind of gives the company a comfy spot where they go, hey, I'm going to make a lot of money, like from the person doing the leasing. From the person that's buying the lease, they get a flat rate bill that 100% everything's covered. Well, so that's cool, but I don't know. Is it worth that much a month? That's where it suddenly becomes very subjective. So, yeah. So someone asked, how do we manage these networks? This particular one, because it's UniFi, we manage it all with the UniFi dashboard, but we do use SolarWinds tools as needed, or it really depends on the client. They want it all internal. So this particular client also, they wanted to pay no one externally to manage their network. So it's 100% internally managed right now. So that makes a huge difference, because now for that much a month, they can hire someone to manage the network if they need to. So it's they do have an internal couple person IT team. That's they spend a lot of time. They have 2 people, and they do spend a lot of time on desktop support because they have so many users. So you don't have a huge IT team. So outsourcing this network infrastructure layer might make sense to some people, but it's not that hard to manage. Matter of fact, with things like UniFi, it's not rocket science to manage that many users. Matter of fact, they're going, this is kind of easy. Is this all these people we're doing for $20,000 a month? So, and that's, that's not, it's one of those things, like, it's not that hard to manage it. People pretend like it is. If you plan the network out and the network is all set up properly, we've got all site to site between the buildings, our fiber lines connecting them. Everything's done properly. It's all separate VLANs, all separate networks, separate SSIDs for each section that they need. Like, everything's done properly with a good firewall at the front. It is a pfSense firewall at the front. So it's not much to manage. It just needs some updates once in a while. And then they have us come in and do the updates because they're like, I'm a little nervous about updating the server. So they just have us come in and update it. So no big deal. So that's kind of the story behind that and how that came to be. So not a huge deal, but yeah, it's one of those things. Like, some of these companies just charge so much for doing that. So anyways, what else we got here? I'm about to go give it lost my job, have money saved in a paid off house. So I figures, someone not part of that discussion. How are you using Invoice Ninja behind a firewall? A record pointing to your router's WAN address that port forwards to Invoice Ninja. Yeah, that's all you do is 8443 on a port forward. That is all you need to do. So yes, it's behind a firewall. So that's, yeah. And I just did that video on there to share how Invoice Ninja works, show how we do things like that. So that's, how we do our billing, how we do our, when people book us and things like that. I'm always wanting to make sure people know how to do a lot of those things. Like, it's a fun thing for me to share that because there's a lot of struggle on it. And too many people are like, close to the vest are like, oh no, it's a secret magic sauce behind the scenes. I'm like, no, why not share, my experiences with using Stripe and Invoice Ninja and how that actually works and the things you can do. I think that's just a better way to do things. So nonetheless, that's the first part of the story. What else was in my list? I actually did not have a long list because I've been so busy today. And we're doing how they got hacked tonight. So I have that. What am I doing here? Dragging things around. I don't know. They're an administrator. I don't know. I'm looking at my texts or looking at this. I'm not sure what's wrong. So I'm going to quit looking at that and go back over to this. Privacy is another one I want to talk about. So, how much to ask if the client has all the materials, cable, faceplates, etc., and just run a termination on one patch of all? That varies. I mean, we give people sometimes just hourly rates for stuff, but we prefer to do. We'll look at the job and give them a price per device to get it installed. That's a lot of how we do this. Price per drop. And if they have the cable already, okay, we'll give you a price per installed. You figure a price, I don't know, like $30 to wall plate each one or something like that. I don't know the numbers. I don't do the numbers, by the way, not me. I have Corey comes up with the numbers. He's head of the wiring and cabling. I know about what he charges for stuff, but generally no one brings all the materials to us. They usually want us to buy the materials too. It really varies. There's a lot of MSPs that don't do any cabling or wiring at all. Some of them even contract us. So it's one of those things like, they contract us out. A lot of MSPs don't touch the physical layer. Matter of fact, there was a company, and I think it's kind of neat what they do, but it doesn't really fit for us. But I'll give them a shout out. They're nice. I had let's see, where's it at? IT solutions for small business. This company specializes in making, just give them a shout out. They were really nice people, setting up workstations. But like for our business model, we do all the workstation setup ourselves. So that, I mean, I get the value add, but they focus on the MSP market that doesn't do that, that doesn't touch the hardware, that wants everything pre-configured and ready to go. That's really not us. I have a bigger team, I guess, so I'm able to, and we have a hardware background, so we're doing this stuff. I may have to end this live stream early, though, in a few minutes. I finally have a, I've been waiting on Verizon to call for 3 days, and I have had dramatic problems with them, so. It's not because of me, this is for a client. They just, the XO/Verizon has not done a good job at all of transitioning a client. It's been a super pain in the butt, and I was worried that this might happen, that I would get on a live stream and they would finally decide to randomly call, and they just messaged me that they want me to do a call shortly. There's no one else available to take it besides me because all my techs are on site somewhere right now. Oh, what a pain. So I may have to jump off here and onto that. I don't, and I have another live stream going, so I know this seems like kind of, it's probably the shortest vlog Thursday I've done in a while. But let me see if I can make sure I can't disclose information more about the business that was spending the money on there. That's why I never did a video about the project. They are very tight with everything. It's one of the big projects we did recently that I can't talk about. They did meet me on YouTube, though. That's how we got the project and did it. Let's see. Yeah, pfSense Let's Encrypt plugin HA proxy if you have more than one public-facing app on a single. Yeah, you can use HA proxy with that. That is an option as well, and put that in front of things to delegate it, or put it behind pfSense. It's kind of however you want to configure your network. If a client has 200 gig of storage on a local server and wants to move to Office 365, they're still probably going to need local storage, or it's not going to work out so well for them. Yeah, there's still times when you want clients to have some levels of local storage because storing it all in the cloud may not be reasonable. We have a couple clients that have terabytes, so yeah. Oh, you can run reverse proxy on a Netgate SG3100. It's supported. It's not going to be super fast, but yeah. How is the XCP as a VDI platform? It works fine. Performance is good. I like XCP-NG for a virtual desktop, so it works. All right, I'm just trying to make sure I caught up all the questions. I was going to dive a little bit more into VPNs today, but I was going to set one up for a demo, and I just did not have time to do it because of all the other things that are coming on. So I do have some more videos coming about that. Let me actually, I'll get this, sorry. Is this still the same problem, Eric? We'll have to put it out for research. I don't know what broke on their server, so, and you may as well do it here. You're just gonna sit and Google until the printers print. So let her know, and we'll research it, and we don't know why it quit. If TA has insight, that'd be great. So, all right, thanks. Bye. So. You watched in real time how I get to handle some of that stuff. Yeah, kill the spooler. We've killed the spooler, restarted the printers, done everything on there. It's a common problem where you don't have access. What was the search? Find it. So it's Hey, maybe one of you can crowdsource and figure this out before I jump off. This is what we're dealing with. It says, an error occurred opening port configurations, operations not supported. Really common problem, and we've went through all these fixes that they say here, and 0 of them have done it. And we've found this on many sites with lots of different variations to fix it, but 0 of them have actually fixed it. So this is what we're dealing with on this. It's this exact error message, which is just stupid. So that's we're trying to sort that out. So I am how to back up offsite with XCP-NG. Just send it offsite. I don't understand it as a question. Like, just choose the destination as offsite. It's going to go as fast as your offsite connection. So, and for example, like we save it to FreeNAS and then we take the FreeNAS and back it up offsite. So that's one of those. Yeah. Unify Protect on a normal server? Sure. Bad spooler in a job? Nope, tried that too. We deleted it, cleaned it, everything. So, yeah, it's a mess. Remove latest MS updates. Yeah, that's probably what we have to do. The problem is that this is on a server 2016 server, I believe, is what it's running on. So, and it's in use in production. So we don't know why it decided to stop working today. There wasn't any updates done. It just decided not to work anymore. We can add printers, and any printer you add, you can't edit the port on it, but you can add new printers. But no printer you add ever prints. So it's definitely something corrupted in Windows. We're just not sure what. So it's going to take some guessing, because every printer quit working on it. Now, their workaround right now is we got people connecting directly to printers to print, and that works. They just can't connect through the server and do it. So we're going to probably have to go through and unload any print drivers, delete every printer out. There's not that many, and restart the server again and then go back and see if that fixes it. It's going to be kind of a weird problem. But unfortunately, I do have to leave because I see that they're ready to call me. They're finally logged in over at XO, Verizon, AT&T, and that, or I'm sorry, XO/Verizon. So that's going to be what I have to go do now. I have some network engineering problems to solve with them because it's taken them a week to reply to a ticket to move an IP address to get a phone system up and running. So yeah, that's unfortunately what I have to go do. And no one else besides me is available to do it. And the client's been in emergency mode. It just figures as soon as I start a vlog is when they would finally return a call. Because, by the way, Verizon, I did that video, they broke 2% of the internet. They're a terrible, awful company in every way to work with. Like, if the client didn't have to use them because he's got so much vested in them, so many IPs across so many buildings, they probably wouldn't. But he is using them, so we have to deal with it. So, all right. I am going to run. Sorry for the shorter vlog today, but check us out on how we got hacked, and we'll be babbling on about all kinds of fun technical hacks that occurred. And wish me luck on dealing with Verizon, that they won't just on the phone. Last time I got on the phone, they just about trying to get anything done and didn't accomplish a thing other than, I guess I got to talk to a higher level tech. I'm like, we just need an IP address moved. So that you wouldn't think the higher level tech needs to do that, but apparently in the world of Verizon, it does. So, all right, thanks, and I'm going to end the stream.